So it's been almost 2 years that I've been on carnivore. I've lost a little bit of weight, but I thought it's time to get serious, set some goals, and get this weight off my body. Hi there, my name is Sue. Welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, I've been eating a carnivore diet for just about 2 years. It'll be 2 years on the 31st of May. And since I have been eating this way, I've had some amazing health benefits. I've been on a real roller coaster with my digestive health, and I've learned a whole lot of things along the way. And my weight loss has been happening, but it's been very, very slow, and I've had really long stalls, and I've still got a lot of weight to lose. So probably about 20 kilos at least still to lose. And so I have decided to set myself a goal over the next 3 months to drop 10 kilos. Now, that's a lot of weight for me to lose over the next 3 months, going by my past history. But I've got a little bit of confidence there now that I might be able to do it. And the reason for that is that I'm finally kind of feeling like my body has got a long way with its healing. Like my digestive system's working a lot better. It still gets upset a little bit, it doesn't take too much to kind of upset it, but it's way just so much better than it was, and it continues to improve. And I'm not having diarrhea all the time and stuff anymore, which is fantastic. My body's actually digesting my food. What I've been noticing is that of late, it seems to be getting a little bit easier for me to drop some weight. So if you haven't been following my videos, I did a few videos just over the last few months talking about experimenting with a high-fat carnivore diet. So I was eating basically 80-20 or a bit more than 80% fat sometimes. And I dropped 3 kilos kind of quite quickly at the beginning of that, but then everything kind of started to go a bit pear-shaped, and I learned some more things about my body and my genetics, and so I decided to give that a miss for now, because it wasn't probably the best thing for me right now. And so I've just kind of gone back to just eating, and I think that I'm probably around about 70-30. I actually haven't worked it out, even though I've been tracking on chronometer on and off, but I'm guessing that I'm probably around about that. And so what I have found, like the last couple of weeks, I've been kind of missing in action a little bit over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and that's because we've had some family stuff going on. So my mum and I had a combined event for her 80th birthday and my 60th birthday, and but it all happened on her 80th birthday, so it was really her birthday thing. But because we didn't have anything for mine, we just kind of put it together, sort of, so the family only had to come once, basically, for one event. And so that was pretty cool. And my sister and her partner were over from Australia, and so we had a couple of weekends. We had the weekend of the birthday party, and then the next weekend we went over and stayed with my sister and her partner as well in the house that they had rented, and then they came here for a few days. So we've had, like 2.5 weeks of kind of fairly full-on family stuff, and so that's why I haven't been doing much in the way of videos. But what happened when I was actually over there, like over that weekend, both the weekends that we were away, was that I actually lost weight, and that kind of, I could feel that I was, and when I got home and got on the scales, I was down by I think the first week, after the first weekend, so we were away for 4 days, and I was down by about 1.1 kilos. And then when the next weekend we were away, and when I came back and weighed after that, I was down by a little bit more. So it all up ended up being about 1.5 kilos over a week and a half or so. And my diet, I was pretty, like, I didn't kind of deviate from my diet really. I had a little bit of cheese, which I haven't been having, and cream as well in my coffee, which I haven't been having. So I've been off dairy for a little while, but I had a little bit of that, and I also had some wine, some low alcohol wine, and both weekends that I was away, just with sparkling water, not a lot. But I had that, and I had a couple of shots of tequila as well. Last weekend, I think it was. And so, it wasn't a whole lot, but there was some extra bits in there. And to come home and have found that I've actually lost weight was pretty cool, because I hadn't been going out for my walks or anything really while I was away. Went for a walk on the beach a couple of days that we were away, which was really nice. But yeah, apart from that, it was kind of just sitting around talking a lot of the time. And so to come home and find that I'd lost weight was a bit of a pleasant surprise for me. And so I had already planned to do what I'm doing prior to all of that, and I've been waiting for, my sister and her partner to leave to actually get started. And so what I'm actually doing is I'm going back to the feasting and fasting. I have resubscribed with Bella's Steak and Butter Gang, and I was in there. I first joined that 2 months after I started on carnivore in 2022. Now, I started, as I said, on the 31st of May, and I joined the Steak and Butter Gang for their 90-day challenge beginning the 1st of August 2022. And I did August and September, and then ended up quitting because I couldn't do the fasting. It was just, every time I broke my fast, the food was just going straight through me. It was making the whole diarrhea thing worse. If you haven't seen my videos on all of the hassles I had with diarrhea and my gut issues, go back and have a look at those, because that's been my history even prior to carnivore, and it continued for a long time once after I started carnivore, and the feasting fasting thing was just making it worse. So I couldn't work out what was going on, and I couldn't get anything resolved. And so I quit and just went back to just eating and trying to work things out myself. Now, I have managed to work out pretty much all of that over the last 2 years, and it's taken this long for my body to get healed enough to really feel like it's starting to work properly. I mean, as I said, I've just turned 60. I've had decades of gut issues just about my whole life. I suspect that I've had leaky gut for probably since I was a teenager, or maybe in my 20s, potentially SIBO. And then I had mold illness on top of all of that. So everything had just kind of got really bad prior to starting carnivore. And so it's been a long journey, and when you're trying to work it all out yourself, because I don't have the funds to go and pay for help, to go to a functional medicine practitioner or whatever. And so I've had to kind of work through it all myself, work it all out. And there was a lot going on, but I finally, at just about 2 years, I feel like I am really getting there, and my body's starting to function really well. Now, along with that weight loss is my body is still shrinking, like even when I'm not losing weight. I think that may be down to the fact that I have lipedema. I've realized that I have lipedema. So I think the inflammation and the fluid, that's surrounding those fat cells is part of what's happening. I mean, it's common for people anyway to kind of lose size even when they're not losing weight, just due to inflammation reducing. And I think that's a big part of what's been going on with me. So what I'm finding is that my upper body, like my face and my neck and my arms are all slimming down, and even my back, I can see that, but there's still kind of the weight on my hips and my legs and my belly sort of thing. But even around my belly is just starting to shrink now. I've always found in the past that's kind of the last place to kind of really start moving, and I've never ever been able to have a flat stomach, and I kind of live in hope that one day I might, but I'm not sure, because I know I've had lipedema on my belly because there's all fibrotic stuff in there, and so I'm not sure how much that'll go down, but we will see. I'm optimistic that I can undo a lot of what's there. And so the weight loss thing, as I said, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about where I am. So going back to the Steak and Butter Gang, I was trying to decide. I was like, do I sign up with Kelly Hogan, or do I sign back up with Bella's Steak and Butter Gang? Because I was just kind of wanting, it's not so much that I need their help, but it's just for the motivation side of things for me. I decided to go back to the SBG gang because I feel like the fasting is where I need to go. And, I've had people say, you shouldn't be fasting, because you're older, and you shouldn't be fasting because you've got thyroid issues, and da 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 da. And I've thought a lot about that, but my intuition is telling me that fasting is where I need to go. Part of the reason for that is because I have so much issue with histamine, and I have genetics that affect histamine, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that histamine's been a problem for me pretty much all my life. Looking back now that I've learned so much about it, and fasting helps with histamine. So like right now at the moment, so since my sister left a few days ago, I decided I was going to do a 3-day mini prime before I started fasting. And so I'm on day 3 of the mini prime right now. Now, because I'm eating more food and eating more often, I can feel my histamine going up. My eyes are itchy this morning. My nose was streaming. I had to take some tissue salts to stop my nose. And my face has been flushing a little bit. I'm not sure whether it's flushed at the moment, but it was a bit earlier. So I can tell that my histamine levels are going up a bit higher. And when we fast, it reduces histamine because you're not eating. So it allows your body to get rid of some of the histamine. So that was one of the reasons that I wanted to go back to the SPG and do the feasting and fasting, or priming and fasting, because it's because of the benefits for the histamine, but also just my intuition is just telling me that that's where I need to go. I feel really good when I fast, and fasting has so many benefits with regards to autophagy and helping to tighten up skin and all that sort of thing, and for lipedema, fasting works well as well. So prior to carnivore, I had been doing some intermittent fasting, and I had been very slowly dropping some weight. So I had dropped about 10 kilos, probably over a couple of years prior to starting on the carnivore diet. And so that was just on my standard diet. With my gut health being as bad as it was, I still managed to kind of lose a little bit. So with the SPG, with regards to the thyroid side of things, so there is just different thoughts on the whole, sluggish thyroid and fasting thing, and our metabolism. My thought is that if we are properly nourished, if we are making sure that our body is getting plenty of food, then the fasting isn't going to have the impact that some people say that it will have on thyroid function. And so I'm going to experiment and see what happens. I'm fairly optimistic, and I think that I'm going to be able to do this. So I'm setting myself a goal over the next 3 months to drop 10 kilos, which is 22 pounds. And so that's about 3 kilos a month. And we'll see what actually happens. Now, I'm going to do update videos at least once a week on this, and I'll probably do some videos on what I'm eating, what I'm not eating, and how long I'm fasting and everything as well, because in SPG they have a 3-month calendar, and they have different levels. And so basically what you're doing within there is building up your fasting muscle. So they get you to prime initially when you first start. They get you to prime, especially for those who haven't been on carnivore, which is basically eating 3 meals a day until you're stuffed. And that's to open up your hunger and get your body really saturated with nutrients before you start fasting. And when I first started that, I was just eating lots. And I think part of the problem when I was on it last time too was I was too kind of focused on wanting to lose weight. And so I only did the priming for, I think I went with the calendar from memory, but I actually needed to prime longer. And so I did. Like when I actually quit, I kept eating. I was hungry for months. And I think it was just because I'd had chronic diarrhea for so long, and my body had not been digesting food for so long, that my body was starving and my cells were starving. And once I started to eat the meat and the fat, that my hunger just opened up, and I was just famished all the time. And it's like I couldn't get enough food into me. And so I actually regained weight when I went first onto carnivore, and regained about, I think it was about 6 or 7 kilos. But my my overall size wasn't kind of getting bigger. I was putting on muscle as well and getting stronger. I could tell I was putting on muscle because of my strength increasing, and then I could see it on my arms. Once my arms started to slim down, I could see it on my arms. And so I wasn't too worried at that stage about gaining the weight, because I kind of resigned myself to, hey, this might take a while, and it has taken a while, and I've had to be really patient. But yeah, because I'm coming up to my 2-year point, I thought, right, okay, and the way that I'm feeling, I thought it's time. It's really time for me to start kind of focusing on the weight and see where I can go with that. So yeah, so as I said, I'll be doing regular updates on this, and I'll be talking about what I'm doing, how long my fasts are, and all that sort of thing. And I will do those at least once a week, and keep you all updated. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. If you like the video, make sure to like and share with anyone you think might be interested. If you've got any comments or questions, if you've tried the SPG gang, if you are doing fasting, what sort of fasting are you doing? Pop those down below. I'd be really interested to hear from you. And yeah, I thank you very much for watching and listening to me today. And I will talk to you again another day. Goodbye for now.